All right, welcome to the Orange County Commuter channel. We are once again on the Eclio Otium M5L for our 200-mile commute and review.
Yeah. At one time,
We are on the Santiago Creek Trail at the dead end of Walnut. We're going to take more than likely just a classic route to work. It's about 10 after 7. So the two routes we've done so far is we did a Walnut to Gliselle and Grand into Santa Ana and Irvine in that direction. The second one, we went way out west to the Santa Ana River Trail. So I guess we have not done a Pacific Electric Trail ride on this that I published. So we're going to do that, and we'll try to get some footage so I can provide a short. And try to get some views. The first video did pretty good. The second video, not so good. Pretty nice morning. It's probably about 68. Went to sleep. Well, I didn't actually fall asleep, but I laid down earlier than I usually do, just so I could try to get more sleep. So I did well. I probably got about maybe 6.5 hours of sleep, which is pretty good for me. So if you notice how quiet this bike is now, there's no, kind of gives you an idea how solid of a bike that it is. I was talking about that, I believe, in my last video. So I removed the kickstand. And we're also filming in DM log 10-bit, so that's gonna hopefully, it's been challenging in the morning. It always has been challenging in the morning to edit these videos, the color and light, with the sun coming, beaming in. So I think this setting will help me during editing. So your raw footage is going to look, kind of have this haze over it, but when you go to do the color and light on your video, you're going to have a lot more data, a lot clearer data and images to work with. Filming in 2K, 60 frames. So good YouTube watching settings would be probably, might as well just watch it on 1080 1080p, 60 frames. So I rode the wind horse a lot this weekend. I probably rode that. So I only published my Friday night video, but I rode it on Saturday and Sunday. I probably put, I don't know, not a lot of miles, maybe 20 or 30 more miles on it after the Friday video. Alright, so now we're going to have to decide where we go up and over. Guess we can do we'll go off-road and go up. Do we want to do that though? No, we don't. Let's stay on the path. We do have an off-road section up here. We're gonna probably just take this to Santiago. Yeah, we'll take this to Santiago, and then we'll head south to 17th Street. Then we'll either take Bush or Standard. I guess we should go on Standard so we can use the bike lane. Get some bike lane footage. This bike's more like that, you know, more for that type of riding. There's our off-road section. Yeah, this handles very, very nicely. All right, so we're to Santiago. A lot of concrete. Getting a little squeaky. Getting a little squeaky. So I started watching this show with my wife. My wife and I are so different, you know, but we meet each other halfway a lot for most things. But when it comes to watching like Netflix series, she's definitely come over further to my side. I have to admit, like some of our favorite shows that we watch together, it's like Silo, The Last of Us. We've watched like I like anything dystopian or true crime. Anything like that, anything dark. She likes, of course, you know, romance, but she also likes history. She's a history major. But like, I made the compromise yesterday, man. So she picked this show called White Lotus, and man, it was like, it's supposed to be a pretty popular show, but my God, it's so boring. I don't know how many episodes we watched. I think we watched like 3. Watch like 3 episodes. It was difficult. It was really difficult for me to watch. So once we get a red light, if we get one over here, then I can hop on out next, let the cars stack up, and then I can pop out between the cars and get closer on the left turn lane here. There we go anyway. So I could probably go around this guy, but he might be jumping right into Chevron. I don't know. Yeah, so 200 miles. It's been fun. Wow, the street's so nice. So smooth. Let's go get on that button, man. We definitely could have gone, but why? We're gonna get the green light right now. Let's abide by the rules. Actually, we're not gonna abide by the rules right now. We always go on this street, but let's cut over here on the sidewalk and take Poinsettia. Ultimately, that's the street we need to be on anyway. And we'll take this over to 4th Street. Then we got to cross 4th Street, make a left, and we'll be on Standard. Take Standard across 1st Street. Not as bright out as I thought it was, but there's a really like scattered cloud covering the sun. Wow, look at this. Look at this, man. He's got so much recycles. Jeez. She. That was probably a 70-year-old woman. Dang, dude. She must have been out all night doing that. Maybe all weekend. She's gonna make a couple $100. Holy heck. That's like good for her. Hustling. Always hustling. Alright, so we are on standard. We're going to hit the standard bike lane, which is a pretty new bike lane. I don't know how long ago they finished this, but we have footage from the very beginning, before when it was just an idea throughout the whole process, right? Before, during, and after. Alright, here we go. Protected bike lane. School's back in sesh. Santa Ana. Dang. It was fun while it lasted. Wow. This light is definitely set up to allow cross traffic to clear. We still had one more light to wait through. We still had to wait for the turn light, but there was a bunch of cars behind me that wanted to turn. Brakes are a little squeaky, and a little grabby, but I still need to do my due diligence and clean them. And I did adjust the back brake last week. some brakes, like when you brake, it feels like it's very rigid, even with mechanical brakes. These are a little softer. So there's a lot going on in Ross Coldheart. So I don't know, I woke up at like, I don't know if it was 4 in the morning yesterday and listened to Reality Check with Ross Coldheart. And man, so back in late 2024, I think early 2025, that Skywatcher group came out. Jake Barber and James Fowler, a bunch of psychic assets, or whatever they call them, psionic assets. And they started this private group where they were going to try to get, data and prove that this these unidentified anomalous phenomenon were real and not of human origin, or at least not of present human origin. But yeah, they got hijacked by our government. So it looks like, we've been trying to get the cabinet, or whatever they call it, the executive branch has been trying to get the information the data from these legacy programs, and let me get off this street and then we can talk about it. I'm just gonna jump over here. Do we get an arrow? That's the only thing I don't know. I hope we get an arrow. No, we don't get an arrow. We're gonna go over here then. So so what Ross is saying, I'm trying to remember exactly what Ross Goldhart is saying. He's saying that basically what's happened is maybe headset. So FBI, CIA has harnessed the abilities of Skywatcher and are now trying to, and they're shooting down, summoning these NHI, these craft, these UFOs, and shooting them down over in the White Sands area. Which is pretty crazy. So more and more I find myself getting into the experiencer aspect of the phenomenon and the consciousness side, because I think ultimately that's where you're going to find the most answers. And even if, you know, disclosure does happen, you're still going to have to vet that information within yourself. So you might as well, you know, get strong with God, or, you know, whatever you perceive God to be. Get strong within yourself, because these are crazy times, man. I mean, all times have been crazy, but right now it's pretty gnarly. In this intersection, that's where we need to jump in right there. Yeah, there's so much going on, so I don't know, I find it entertaining. Smells skunk, man. Hill climb. So I'm just, I know I'm not talking a whole lot, but I'm just enjoying this ride. Just looking around at everything. Nice. We got somebody on the button over here. We didn't gear down. Let's see what time it is. 7:48, so our timing is pretty good. I can't tell if I get the arrow. I didn't get the arrow, but we got to go straight, which is close enough. All right, we're probably gonna have to, oh no, she's on the button, so we're good. Trip out on people with their little dogs. Dog's got her hair all done. So we probably need to stop and talk about the bike. I need to make a short. Trying to think of a good spot. I wouldn't mind doing it under the overpass, but that's probably the worst possible spot because it's going to be totally noisy and dark. And I've already done one at work when I get there. Maybe we'll do it out by John Wayne, and we'll catch a. Let's let this car go. Is this car going left? Yeah, we can do it out in front of John Wayne. Well, it's not really the front, the back of John Wayne. And then maybe we'll see the passenger jet fly over. We've got somebody in the turn lane behind me, so that'll help us get this light triggered. So there's a massive avocado tree right there. You see those palm trees? Right in between those palm trees, there's an avocado tree. I'm gonna go look at it. I don't think I can reach any of them. Maybe if we climbed onto that electrical box, we could though. Let's go check it out. We're gonna do our suburban trail ride right here. So look at this. We could do our short right here. So look at in that tree, all those avocados. All right, so let's take a look at the Eclio Otium M5L. So I've commuted on this bike for over 200 miles, and so far so good. I don't have any complaints. The kickstand was definitely noisy, and on a light bike like this, I don't really need a kickstand. So it has a 350 watt motor, and it peaks at 750 watts. Top speed is 23 miles an hour. However, we know on a full charge that we can get up to about 24, even 25 if you're, on a little 1% grade. It's got this nice rack that holds 25 kilograms, or times that by 2.2. It's got this beautiful integrated battery. It's around 10 amp hours, something like that. There's your controls and your display. It's got a Shimano shifter, and then of course your tourney. Let's try to do this. The tourney derailleur. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we've all seen them before. It's got the dual chain guard. And plastic pedals. And here's the tread on the tires. The tread on the tires matches my gravel bike. Front shock, it's got front suspension. Works just fine. It's pretty tight, which is, I've talked about that already, but if this is the first video you've watched on this, it's tight, and it's not really bouncy. It's very, has a nice spring back to it. Probably doesn't really need it. I'd be happy with just a regular front fork. It's just like one thing less you gotta worry about braking or getting old. I can imagine over time, this front shock could probably depreciate. On the type of riding I do, yeah, it could definitely stop working as well. Let's go ahead and jump on the sidewalk. It has a nice horn, so we're going to do the horn through the underpass, or under the overpass, or however you want to depict that. Yeah, but for sure, like I think this is a great bike. I'll have a link in the description and a discount code. You could save $50 on this bike. And yeah, they have other bikes too. They have, this is just their commuter bike. They also have a bunch of other models, couple different moped styles, some other commuter style bikes. But the fit and finish is awesome. I mean, it's a beautiful bike. It rides very nicely, so. you're just looking for, you know, there's so many bikes out there, and it's very intimidating to, you know, especially if you don't have a lot of money. You don't want to spend a bunch of money on a bike and then, you know, get something junky. I feel like this is a pretty good quality bike, and my communication with Eclio has been, I actually need to check my emails, but my communication with them has been solid. If I email them with a question, they answer right back, and so I can just tell, like, if you were to have any issues with your bike, I'm pretty confident they would help you out without any issues. I'm uncertain about warranties. If they have any kind of warranty, I'm sure there is. There's probably not any kind of service warranty, but a parts warranty, I'm assuming that they have something. Usually it's, I think, a minimum of 1 year, but I'm not saying that's what theirs is. I don't know. I can't speak out of line. I don't know exactly what they offer. We just missed Southwest Airlines, friends. I guess we can go. Oh no, we better not. We got Mitsubishi Mechanic. Oh, Mitsubishi Electric. But here we are, another work week. I'm really fortunate. I am getting butterflies in my stomach right now thinking about work. And a few other issues I've got to deal with. Outside of work and outside of my family. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know. We won't get into it. But at least we get this ride to work and the ride home to look forward to. At least I have a job. I'm held in high regard, I think, in where I work. It's just it's not cutting it anymore. You know, as stuff has gotten more expensive, there's been some changes in the business that, like, really destroyed my career. Actually, it didn't destroy my career, it destroyed my income, but my climbability. But we need to leave that kind of stuff out of these videos. U-turn, really? No U-turn. It says no U-turn right there. Right, well, we're at the last leg of the journey. A very standard, subdued commute for a Monday morning. But it went, I don't know, it went rather smoothly, I think. hitting right in that mediocre range. Yeah, friends, I mean, keep your eyes to the skies. Your thoughts, you know, with the people that you love. Be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, you're not going to be any good for anybody else. Yeah, get solid, man. Get solid with yourself, with God. If you don't believe in God, yeah, just get solid in yourself and do your best to you know, live in the moment. But also don't isolate yourself so much that you're not paying attention, you know, to what's going on, you know, in this world of AI and these NHI and this UAP, the UFO, that whole thing. It's real, man. And our world's gonna look completely different soon. Here's my new charging station. So one of the supervisors for facilities had them install this outlet right here, especially for us. So that was really cool of them. Oh yeah. Hopefully it doesn't. We go just like that against that wall. That should be good. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.